Finding it hard to focus? Your mind is so powerful. What you tell yourself impacts every action that you take. How does this affect your level of focus and what you're accomplishing in a day? Hi, welcome to the Connect with Sheila podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, self-care strategist, and creator of the Seasons Self-Care app. I'm committed to helping you reconnect to your purpose, elevate your well-being, and build your version of a happy, successful life. You're listening to a Monday minisode where I share an insight designed to help you live into what lights you up this week. My morning meditations have been lighting a fire under me lately. A recent one got me thinking about focus because I happen to be feeling very unfocused in that moment. Are you feeling me? Like it was morning, right? So all of the ideas were floating around. And so here's the path my mind had me wander down this morning. And actually, it hit me even before I meditated. It followed the thought, I have a lot to accomplish this morning before I need to leave town. That was a thought. And I happened to be feeding Basil his cat food when it came to me. And I may have even said it out loud to him while he purred loudly, crunching on his kibble. So indulge me and I'll share the first part of this thought. It may be just what you need to hear today. So here's a thought. You created your current reality. You made choices that put you in the rooms, the relationships, and the work that you do. Consider this. It all began with one thought, which stemmed from a belief that you had about who you are, the type of life you're meant to have, and what's possible for you. Then that thought led to another thought that made you take some kind of action, which may have just been to ponder for a moment more, which then led to a choice that then momentum took hold of, and your life started to shift according to the choices you subsequently made. So this is how everything happens in our life. My deep thoughts in the morning, this is how they work. And so you had this image in your mind of what's possible. It may have felt far out of reach, but your curiosity led you to explore a little further. And then, this happens to all of us, just at different levels, you settled in. You got comfy with a certain place in the journey towards the vision that seemed out of reach. Then a new thought came along and impacted what your next steps were. So perhaps you even saw further beyond where you imagined you wanted to go. So you're like, hey, let's actually go bigger. Or you realize you wanted to go in an entirely different direction. So you started following another idea that felt more aligned. Or the thought came to you that this place you found yourself in was all that was meant for you. It felt safe. Reaching further felt too scary. So you started to shrink your vision and comforted yourself with thoughts of what you actually were deserving of. I have done this. We all do this to some extent. And boundaries are really important for your well-being. Like this is like a boundary. Boundaries elicit a feeling of safety to your nervous system. Lots of change all at once for many of us can be very, very jolting. What's super cool though, is that once you've moved beyond your limits and then you go back to where you were, it might feel satisfying for a while, but you've seen what you're capable of. Humans are wired for growth. So eventually you may find yourself venturing forward again. And then you'll find that you can go even further than what you initially felt was possible. So this time in meditation, this thought that came up for me, or prior to meditation, was that I wanted to share about something very, very simple that landed in a very profound way. I had a lot of things racing through my mind that I needed to take action on, and I wanted to move forward, but those ideas just kept swirling. They just kept swirling. And I was finding it really hard to focus. Words hadn't even formed to describe how I was feeling, but there was a sense that it was all too much. You know what I mean? Like, have you been there? There were too many pieces, and like, which one is the best one to take on first? So I found myself saying, focus. Like, what's the outcome? Now, This is not something I would have said to myself even a few years ago. I would have distracted myself and then just come back to it later or not at all, maybe a month later, right? And, sometimes that can be helpful when we just feel like we're hitting a limit and it's just too much for us. But since my time hanging out with Tony Robbins' Mastery You people, the word outcome is always on my mind. The idea that every action I take is creating some kind of result. So my awareness is high on this right now. And it's been so incredibly helpful to refocus me. So that's the bonus thought. The whole idea of just like focus, what is the outcome? What outcome are you after? Because the thought that came next for me was really this. And I expanded on it in my meditation. And that was, where you are in this moment is a result of the thoughts you had and the beliefs you had in the past. And here it is. Since your thoughts brought you to this place today, your solution also begins with a thought. Did you catch that? The situation you find yourself in is directly correlated to what you believe is possible. So if you find yourself unable to focus on what to do to reach a certain outcome that you're after, you can turn it around. You don't have to throw in the towel. You're so powerful. And the solutions you're after are there. You just need to access them. I don't know about you, but that makes me take such a deep breath and relax. The answers are there. You'll figure out what your next steps are. That's the simple thought I wanted to share. And there's really a second piece that supercharges everything, though. And this is one we can have a hard time with in our culture that we've been steeping in for so many years. You don't have to figure it out alone. You get to ask for help, support, guidance, wisdom from others who have gone before you. This isn't like a test. You have to get all the answers right, and then you have to get this percentage on this test. And then, okay, I really did it. I did it myself, right? You know this in your core that asking for help is a good thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. You can figure out a lot on your own. You're incredibly capable. I've just found over the years that going it alone takes longer. It's more frustrating. And frankly, it's incredibly lonely. And so in this interconnected world we live in, where any kind of guidance you want is a click away, maybe even on a screen somewhere, take advantage of it. Yes, we need to use critical thinking, of course, and we need to check in, do gut checks and say, hey, does this match what my desires are? How ethically motivated are these things? Of course, that goes without saying. I'd like to throw that in there. But take advantage of the amount of guidance that's available to you. I can't tell you the hours, the months, or maybe even the years that I have saved because of ideas, guidance, and connections that I've gleaned in a 15-minute conversation in a Zoom room. Not to mention the actual rooms at events I've attended or organized over the years. Beautiful soul, I have a message for you. You may have been like me and believe that successful people are so special and they've got some amazing gift that they were born with where they magically have all the answers. But that's simply not true. Success comes from collaboration and connection, and it's way more fun that way. Even just having one person to dream up ideas with is magic. So don't buy into the belief that you need to do it all yourself. That is going to waste a lot of time, and it'll keep you spinning out and miserable. So remember this simple thought for the week. Your thoughts got you to where you are. They can get you to where you want to go. I am so here to cheer you on. I am here for it. I want to hear that's how this landed. Reach out to me. Send me a message in whatever place where you hang out. I'm in all the places. I would love to hear. And in fact, this is really what the Seasons Collective is all about. It's a place, a community that I've created where you can step into the next phase of your life or business evolution in a community that places a high value on personal growth, connection, and making a positive impact in the world without burning out. And the way we don't burn out is by really being there for each other and not doing it all alone and not doing all of the things, right? That's one thing we can learn from each other, is that maybe there's some steps we don't even need to take. So I really invite you to check out the Seasons Collective. You can go to the link in the show notes and learn all about it. And I would love to see you inside. I so appreciate you. Thank you for listening to this episode. And if you got something valuable from it, please tag me on social media, because I love to shout out the messages you tag me in. And it means the world to me that you listen to these episodes. So please rate, review, share. That's how the word gets out. Other people are looking for some kind of encouragement, just as we are. I so appreciate you. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Big blessings.